ITV Evening News with Owen Shreves.
Good evening. Welcome to the ITV Evening News with me, Owen Shreves. Our main news tonight. How much do the Russian people know about their country, inclusion of the Ukraine? Here is the latest.
Natalia is packing up in a hurry. She's an independent journalist who's asked us to protect her identity. We've changed her name. She's fearful for her life and is leaving Russia now. She's lived here since she was born, apart from 18 months in America.
I have to run. I'm running for my life. We haven't slept in days. I had to say goodbye to my girlfriend, and that was, yeah. I just couldn't hold tears.
A new law is planned which could see journalists jailed if they fail to toe the Kremlin line. How long would you spend in prison if something
Up to 15 years.
15 years?
Yeah.
TV Rain is the latest independent media to be closed. One of its journalists who fled the country says President Putin's actions are costing Russia dearly.
Russia is a terroristic state on this stage, unfortunately. And what he has done is that he has ruined the lives of 140 million people who still live there.
Across Russia, school children were given a virtual lesson today
Мы поговорим о событиях на Украине.
entitled Why the Liberation of Ukraine is a Necessity, telling pupils how to distinguish the truth from lies. But some aren't following the script. This week, Moscow police detained 5 children and 2 women who laid flowers at the Ukrainian embassy. Across the country, more than 7,000 people have been arrested during anti-war protests. Tomorrow, Russia's parliament will pass new stringent measures aimed at dealing with the crisis. They're expected to include a further crackdown on free speech and protests. The darkness which has descended over Ukraine is having consequences here as the Russian government tightens its grip like never before. Neil Connery, News at 10, Moscow.
Thank you, Tom, for the latest. Alright, if you're sad about anything tonight on the news, go to iTVnews.com/news for the guys. Okay. Now, moving on. Let's say it was a well-booked day, so lots of you taking your photos. If you want to see it, it's at iTVnews.com/news. Alright. PARALYMPIAN. It's the Belgium Dames band for the Dame. Here is the latest.
It was some about turn. Yesterday they were in, albeit as neutrals. Today, during final rehearsals for the opening ceremony, Russia and Belarus were kicked out, despite Paralympic bosses insisting that was never an option. So why?
The situation in the athletes' village is escalated and has now become untenable. To the para-athletes from the impacted countries, we are very sorry that you are affected by the decisions that your government took last week in breaching the Olympic truce.
Ever since the Russian delegation arrived, the British team and others have been lobbying to get them excluded, but they deny any behind-the-scenes threats of boycotts.
We were obviously speaking to the athletes, and their focus, as you would expect, has been on finalising their preparation, finalising their training for the first competition starting on Saturday. So we didn't have any British athletes who told us they wouldn't line up against Russian or Belarusian athletes.
Belarusian Paralympic medalist Yuri Holub, who is visually impaired, was due to take part in the Nordic skiing. He's heartbroken.
Я в политику не влажу, потому что я в ней не разбираюсь, но я против войны, и мы все надеялись, что вот эти спортивные мероприятия, паралимпийские игры как-то примирят людей, как-то объединят. как-то укрепят дружбу, но, к сожалению, этого не произошло, и мы, конечно, очень расстроены.
Russian Paralympic bosses have called today's decision monstrous and are appealing it in the courts. The chaos in Beijing that has dominated these games in the past few days is not over yet. Steve Scott, News at 10.
Thank you, Chair, for the latest. Alright, so possibly I could lose even, but okay. Are we lose now? No? It is Friday, the feel good weekend, so I'll see ya. If you're doing anything nice for the weekend, let us know at iTunes.com/lose. And now let's show the Loose Woman panel today. As she came back from maternity leave. Here's when her first day back on leave. Kelly was amazing. She said, I felt amazing to come back on Kelly. It was nice to be back on Loose Women. Take a look.
People are getting in touch. But do you know what they're getting in touch with more than anything? They're really pleased you've shaved your legs. Leslie says it's a special day because our Stacey's back and she's shaved her leg. You go, girl.
It's true. You know, we go on, viewers.
Listen, please. Can people just have a little glimpse of Rose if we're really quiet?
It's been too long without her.
Yes, this woman is back on This Woman. Okay, you can get This Woman catch up or on ITV Up. Okay, moving on to I don't know, should we say St. Louis, because it rain was to catch up the largest television power planet. Yeah, if you're afraid about this news, .com/news. Here is the latest.
No warning of the perils posed by the war in Ukraine to lands far beyond its borders. But in the Russian attack on Europe's biggest nuclear reactor, a terrible reminder of how much is at stake. If there's an explosion, that's it for Europe, said President Vladimir Zelensky. Only urgent action can stop the Russian troops.
It is extremely concerning that forces are prepared to do this. We've called for an urgent meeting of the UN Security Council. This is a threat to European security and stability, and we need those responsible to be held to account.
The plant is now in Russian hands. The fires extinguished, radiation levels normal. One disaster averted. Yet it fits the Russian tactic of cutting off the essentials of life, of power and water, and bombarding cities like the port of Mariupol and their civilian populations into submission.
They use bombs, they use rockets, multiple launch rocket systems, everything he has. And he does not see any difference, and that its target is both hospitals, schools, kindergartens.
In Brussels, NATO's foreign ministers are holding another emergency meeting.
We condemn the attacks on civilians, and over the night we have also seen reports about the attack against the nuclear power plant. This just demonstrates the recklessness of this war and the importance of ending it, and the importance of Russia withdrawing all its troops.
But as the aftermath of the attack on the nuclear plant proves, it might be that Vladimir Putin is intent on victory at any cost. John Ray, ITV News.
Thank you, Charlie, with the latest. Alright, before we go, it is Mother's Day coming up. What is the best gifts to buy your Mother's Day? .iTV.com/news to find out what is the best gift for Mother's Day. Alright, that's a lot from me. I'm back tomorrow at 12:45 for the last time news, but from everyone here, good night.